Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Bagels, Locks. We are back outside at Winnable headquarters, and boy, did we have a fun weekend, didn't we?
Oh, it was amazing. Thank you, Winnable, for hosting a great event. We had a lot of people come through. Want to go through some of the roster?
Yeah, we had some great cappers, Cody, Thrive, Sports Betting Education. We had Ethan Kaiser from Parallel Live. We had Marcus Vick.
Marcus, my boy.
Yeah.
I can say my boy now.
Right, because you guys really hit it off.
No, yeah, Marcus was a really good dude. Said he wanted to come on the podcast, so one day, yes, we will have Marcus Vick here. He also wants to go to the UCF Colorado game with us. Really adamant about that.
No, we're gonna have a great time this season up there. Show him the bounce house. Let him see the vibes there. See how it compares with his time as an All-American at VT. But yeah, great time, great vibes. Weather cooperated. Today's a beautiful day, though.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Working on my tan now that we're outside. I'll start getting a little darker. I have a horrible farmer's tan, but that's for another story. But this weekend, we can't forget
NFL Draft.
That's right.
And we talked about it last podcast with some predictions, and boy, it was pretty chalk, those first 10 picks. We were right on the money.
We were.
Where do we get it right? Where do we get it wrong?
We got it right pretty much all the way till Penix.
Penix, yeah. So let's just dive in with that pick. We got Atlanta. If everybody, I'm sure everyone remembers, but Atlanta went ahead, gave Kirk Cousins a huge contract coming off his injury. Looks like, he's an older quarterback. Looks like he was going to be there for at least, the foreseeable future and guide that team, especially in the day and age where you have the Aaron Rodgers of the world, you have the Tom Brady's that can play well into their 40s. And Atlanta has this opportunity to go ahead and get maybe a great wide receiver, maybe some more defensive help, maybe an offensive lineman. But no, they go ahead and get a quarterback with the first 10 picks, Michael Penix, a guy who has been pretty much injured every single year that he was in college with serious injuries.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a stretch. They probably could have gotten Penix in the second and made a trade somewhere and got him. But the whole dynamic of what's going on there, you and I both thought they should go on the defense. When they signed Kirk, it was telling me they got their guy, now they're going to work on the D. That's what we all thought. That's pretty much what America thought. I think they did Kurt a little dirty. I mean, I heard that he hosted the draft party and was hyping people up. His PR people didn't know. No one knew until right before the draft. And they kind of pulled him aside, gave him the little whisper, and he wasn't very happy. Yeah. Now, I've been trying to wrap my head around make this make sense, right? How do you make it make sense? Because Penix is the guy. He's ready to go now. He's an older quarterback. He's ready.
Yeah, so he's almost as old as Kirk Cousins.
12 years younger.
Exactly.
So this is the only way it makes sense to me, is that Atlanta is going for the home run. They're going for the Super Bowl. And because of that, right, they're going to be on the back end on the drafts. Kirk Cousins is 36. In the third year, he's going to be only a $10 million cap hit. So they're trying to position it where it's when it went Favre-Rodgers, right? Just an even flow. And that's the only way I can make it make sense. I personally think the pressure, because Kurt ultimately does crumble under pressure. He's not a good playoff quarterback. We've all seen it. And we're going to hear the chants. The second that Kurt does anything stupid in the regular season, Penix, the Atlanta fans are not going to, they're going to say, get him out of here. And it's going to turn into a mess. But that's the only way I can see it making sense. Do you kind of agree with?
I just think that it's just strange management of that team, and it seemed like nobody was on the same page with it.
Correct.
You saw a lot of interesting things happen, like you alluded to. You have a draft party event hosted by your new quarterback, who was shocked, appalled that his team drafted a quarterback in the top 10. You have memes coming out of Arthur Blank, the owner, basically needing an explanation as to what the hell is going on with my team.
Correct.
You just said, open your checkbook, spend $100 million plus on a quarterback, and now you're going to spend another big check on another quarterback that will undoubtedly ride the bench if not him, then Kirk. So you have that. I mean, Kirk was getting smoke all around. I also saw a quote from J.J. McCarthy, who was drafted by the Vikings, where he said, "Oh, Kirk wears chains, but I wear rings."
Wow. He did. He said that?
I'm hoping it was real and I wasn't tricked by the internet. But it's definitely possible, and if not, he should say that.
JJ has that smoke in him.
Yeah, I mean, JJ was dressed like he was going to a 13-year-old a bar mitzvah.
Bar mitzvah, yeah.
But you know what? We've seen young guys thrive. I said it. I thought I liked the Giants maybe grabbing him, but I loved the Giants pick to move to another team.
Mm-hmm.
Neighbors is a stud.
Mm-hmm.
He is the some say better than Odell Beckham coming out of LSU. And let's see, perhaps he will thrive, but who's going to be throwing him the ball? The Giants did not take a quarterback the entire draft. They're really all in on Daniel Jones, it looks like.
Are you okay with Leak, as he goes by, talking in third person? Because that's what Leak does.
I love it. I think
you're about that.
I think that is the wide receiver mentality. Give me the ball. Talk in third person. Show me the money. Shout outs to my boy Cuba Gooding Jr., who I saw again at the Panthers game. I just see this guy everywhere, and I'm going to the Panthers game again tonight. We always shoot this when I'm going to the game. I invited you. You can't go.
I can't go. Sorry.
I'm not even going to ask why.
No.
Because I don't think it's your choice. But you can't go. And, yeah, so other picks.
Whoa, hold on. I got to ask you. Overall, though, you like the Giants draft? Because I was looking, and I know people aren't fond of this guy. Mel Kiper gave you guys the third in the division. Like, you're the bottom two of the draft grade. Interesting,
because Mel Kiper, who doesn't even have a cell phone, doesn't know how to use the internet, I could care less about him. If you look across the board, the Giants got an A-plus draft
according to Dan Sands.
Yes, according to Dan Sands, parlay lawyer. But A-plus draft grade from most people. We got also the best safety in the draft.
Whoa. Oh, safety. Okay, yeah.
Safety in the draft. We got a decent corner. We got a running back that people are excited about. But let's not. This isn't a Giants podcast, although
you're right. It's an Eagles podcast. So let's talk about the Philadelphia Eagles.
But they weren't even okay. Fine.
Hold on. Slow.
It's not even that interesting that a late pick.
Well, because we're a good team. But that said, we got an A from Mr. Mel Kiper.
Of course, isn't he from Philadelphia?
I don't care where
he sounds like a John.
Oh, did you say John? Because we got Cooper DeJohn
in this second round,
which is a steal.
But it is exciting. I believe he's like will end up being the first starting white quarterback since Jason Sehorn. Obviously, it's not about race, but it's an interesting tidbit that since Jason Sehorn, there hasn't been a starting corner.
It's exciting. It's definitely going to be fun. Is
he a John?
He's a John, and the marketing term is going to be... Yeah, Cooper DeJohn. I'm going to get a custom jersey that says DeJohn on the back. But I love that we did not have to trade up for Quinyon Mitchell.
Okay.
That's a steal. Getting him at 22 was absolutely amazing. All the beat writers, everyone was saying we were going to trade up to 12 to get him. The fact that all those quarterbacks, and there was so chalky and not many surprises besides Penix, kind of just fell to us.
Sure.
Two little guys I just want to throw out there that I'm super excited for. I know a lot of the Eagles fan base not too thrilled about him, but I think he's got the grit. Is Jeremiah Trotter Jr. His dad played for Philly.
It's a household name.
Yeah, it's fitting. He knows what it's going to take. He's not going to get rattled by the Philly fans, so I like that. But one little sleepy pick, Johnny Wilson from FSU, 6'6", 230, runs like a 4.52.
Who picked him?
Philly.
Oh, okay.
In the sixth round.
Talking about those Johns.
Yeah, the Johns. No, but I'm just saying in the sixth round it was worth a flyer. Not the Philadelphia Flyers, but it was worth a flyer to go get him. So I like that. I give the Giants a better grade than what Kiper did. I do agree with you, though, in that sense. The Giants did have a great draft. I think the Eagles had a phenomenal draft. I'm really excited for that division as a whole. I think even Washington, had a really good draft. The Cowboys, screw them. I don't care about
They didn't
them.
really do anything.
They never do in the playoffs anyway.
Yeah, but they did, as of today's airing, they did re-sign, I guess it's a free agent signing, but a re-signing of a big personality, Ezekiel Elliott. So maybe we just talk about that for a little bit. Do you see him reaching back to the glory days?
No.
No, I don't either.
And it's also pending like a physical.
He might not even pass the physical.
Yeah. I mean, too much Frosted Flakes in the morning.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they made no moves this offseason. Patriots made an interesting move. They are betting they got their quarterback of the future, Drake May. What do you think?
Well, in a few weeks, it's going to be May. I had to do it again. No, but I do like it. It was shocking. You know, the Patriots, it's very not like them to take a quarterback in the first round.
But we were talking about it. They said that the ownership was involved. That might lead to the fact that, hey, we need to put butts in the seats. We can't be crappy again. Moving on from Belichick. If Belichick was there, they probably don't. Belichick was great on the draft. He was telling all these like football guy old stories. It was cool to hear. But it was interesting when you heard him talking about the quarterbacks in the first 10 picks. Man, was he critical of them. Which also leads you to believe that like that was always his mentality. These guys need so much work. Why even go for them, right?
No, it's true. He definitely is old school. Staying in that division, there's just 2 picks that I like that the Dolphins actually made. We're in Miami. I just have to throw the Dolphins in there. With Jaden Phillips and Bradley Chubb always coming off like these injuries and they're beat up. They have 2 guys that they got kind of in the later rounds that if they pan out, the Dolphins had a phenomenal draft, and that's Chop Robinson and Mo Kamara. I think those guys could be beasts if they pan out.
Yeah.
Which, you never know.
Well, and Chop Robinson, do you know how he got the nickname? Do you know the story?
No, not at all.
So
were you with him?
No, well, I wasn't there, thank God, for how he got this nickname. But apparently, he was born 14 pounds. Born 14 pounds. So his nickname was Pork Chop. And shout out to the mom.
Shout out
to the mom. 14-pound kid. And then once he started slimming down a little bit, getting athletic, they dropped the pork, and he's just chopped.
Yeah, I mean, my son's 4 months old, and he's 16 pounds. I can't even imagine a newborn at 14.
Newborn, just straight out of the gut, straight out of the gut, straight up the gut.
Yeah, we'll say that. But any other draft shocks for you otherwise, or
no?
There's something actually. Sorry, Buffalo. What the hell are you doing? Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo.
They have. Great game.
Great
also takes a lot of money. Their one kryptonite in the AFC is the Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
They traded back many years ago and allowed Kansas City to get their child, Patrick Mahomes. Mm-hmm. They do it again and let them get Xavier Worthy.
Yeah.
Worthy, excuse me. And he is worthy. And that's like, not a Tyreek, but a Tyreek type player. Small guy, fast, whatever. It's perfect for Patrick.
Yeah,
like what is Buffalo doing?
Early fantasy football. Give me the round that he gets drafted in, and then for all of us that play auction style, and we will be talking about a lot of fantasy football when that starts. But all of us who play auction style, how much do you think he goes for in a standard?
I mean, an auction, I don't know, because it depends on so many elements as to.
But you got to think he slots right in as a starter, right?
He's a starter.
Yeah.
I think he's like in a snake draft.
Yep.
Late 2-3, like that turn.
He's a super hype beast wide receiver 2.
Yes.
To start. Right?
Yes.
Like it's like if you want him, you're gonna have to take him real early.
Yes.
Earlier than a normal wide receiver 2 would go.
And because of the team.
And price wise, I bet you at least in our draft that we do auction, he's going for at least like $25 to $30 for sure.
I mean, not if we make it. Some of our friends who have fanboys of certain players spend a certain amount, but that's a strategy in its own.
People are going to be fanboys of him. And besides the NFL draft this weekend, we had NBA playoffs. Mm-hmm. Ooh, was I happy. So actually, we haven't spoken since last week. So it was really like my Knicks fanhood for the playoffs this week, this end of the week to the weekend, was just the tale of two cities, because man was I upset after Thursday night. You're a Sixers fan. Joel Embiid, the dirtiest player in the game. I've never seen such dirty players. I haven't seen such filth since the last time I was in Philadelphia going down, what was it, State Street?
South Street.
South Street, and seeing all those heroin addicts leaning over, haven't bathed in years. That is what Joel Embiid is as a basketball player, going and injuring purposefully, injuring Mitchell Robinson, pulling him down. People have gone to jail for less, and this guy didn't even get suspended. He goes on to score 50 points. Mitchell Robinson goes on to miss the next game. We take the loss. But like, who comes in with a mask and a cape? Mr. Save-A-Team, Jalen Brunson, one of the great performances of all playoff history, and certainly Knicks history, setting the Knicks record for points in a playoff game, edging out Bernard King from the 1980s. What a game yesterday. Jalen Brunson putting the team on his back.
Wow. That's a lot to take in. That said, clearly you haven't gone to New York recently because there's mounds and mounds of trash.
I haven't.
Everywhere.
I moved to Miami from New York City and never looked back.
So besides South Street and the heroin addicts, there's lots of trash in New York. So I don't want to hear about that. That said, Joel Embiid, that play, yes, a little aggressive, a lot of aggressive, but the ass bump, certain plays where
that wasn't even the worst one.
But
the knee into Hartenstein's groin, kicking Mitchell Robinson even after he tried to injure his ankle, the elbow shiver to Jalen Brunson in his head in the last game. Just like, when will they stop this guy?
Well,
what a heel turn he's taken.
Well, on Bagels and Locks, I guess I have a new host, Justin Timberlake, Cry Me a River. Oh. No, in all reality.
Oh.
Wow, got him. No, but in all seriousness, look, Joel, he's a big man. Some of the plays, it's hard to defend. I'm not going to lie. It is a little hard to defend. It's the game, though. And it takes... Don't be mad at Joel. Be mad at the refs. Because if the refs...
Well, I'm not even mad because we got the win. We're up 3-1. But you know who's mad? And this is where I'm going to segue to, because let's not spend too much time on this thug. But you know who's mad? Is the Sixers. In Game 2, it was the refs. Now in Game 4, it's the fans. He's mad at you, Philly fans, because you guys didn't show up. There were too many Knicks fans. Everything after the game was how disappointing it was. Nick Nurse and Joel talking about how there are too many Knicks fans there. It's disappointing to see. Philly's supposed to be a sports town. I mean, when are they going to take accountability for just
then
losing?
Be mad at the ownership. So put out a product that people want to see. Philadelphia is, we talked it on the last podcast, sick and tired of this subpar bullshit crap that they're putting on the court. You cannot build an organization around just Joel, who gets injured after picking up a McDonald's bag, and just all the antics. It's nonsense.
Yeah.
It's nonsense.
Well, there must have been at some point, like, I've never heard Joel Embiid take any blame for having a bad game. You know, Maxey in that game too, when the Knicks came back, he said, I can't turn the ball over. Embiid says, it's the refs, and we're going to win this series. This time, it's the fans. It's the Bell's palsy. It's his. He's not 100%. He scored 50 points. Okay,
right.
You're okay. Also, blame your coach maybe in the fourth quarter for not sitting you the entire second half.
Agree.
This looked like an exhausted man.
He's always looks exhausted. But what shocked me a little bit more though was the Brunson amazing game. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I was actually shocked that the record was only 46 or 47 points.
I mean, that's a lot of points.
But the Knicks organization, I mean, you guys have had a great playoff team.
We have, but you know what? We have a culture of team.
Yeah, yes.
It's not Joel Embiid. It's not one player. It's team basketball, and that's what's been winning for the Knicks. You have Hartenstein, which was pretty wild if you're watching that game. He had no fouls in the first half, 5 fouls in the third quarter. Every time Embiid touched the ball, he got to the foul line, foul on Hartenstein. And then who stepped up? OG said, let me guard the center. Let me guard the guy that's 5 inches taller than me. And he locked him down to only 1 point or 4 points in the fourth. And that's what won the game. But there were other games that happened too.
Right. Also, don't sleep on him.
I love me some Deuce. The Deuce is loose. You know?
Yeah, he actually comes through pretty clutch for you guys.
Yeah. No, the Deuce is as loose as like you're leaving an Indian buffet, Indian food buffet. I mean, the Deuce is loose. What a great signing. I could go on about the Knicks all day. Also, it's not a Knicks podcast either, although I wish it was. There were other games that were played. We had the Suns and, the Timberwolves. I had a mental lapse there, but the Suns and the Timberwolves.
Well, because it's not even a series. That's why you had a mental
It's over. Right, it's over. So I'm already kind of moved on. But you know what? Is it over for Kevin Durant in Phoenix?
Is it over?
Is it? There's a question for you.
Yes.
Yes.
I think it's over.
But it's his next time for his next chapter.
Of course. That's what Kevin Durant
Where
does.
is the next chapter? What do you think? Let's get a little prediction.
Come to Philly. No,
No.
he couldn't handle
I could
Philly.
see it.
He couldn't handle Philly. I honestly, where he goes, I think he's going to stay in the West. I think he's scared of the East. He doesn't want any of like the Miami Heat, the Philadelphia 76ers, New York Knicks, Bucks, when Giannis and everyone's healthy again. Celtics, of course. Like, the East is kind of scary. The West is very top-heavy, and I feel like he'll find his way somewhere in the West.
Does he go back to his Warriors? Does he
No.
team back up with Steph
The Warriors
Curry?
are done.
They're done too.
They're done.
There's been this like dynastic shift. LeBron plays tonight again, trying to survive. Could be the end of him in the first round. Wow, like look where we are. Kevin Durant out first round. LeBron out first round. Steph Curry not even making it into the true playoffs. There's kind of this shift going on, and the new guys of Brunson, Doncic, Anthony Edwards, who is just like, if you're ever leading the tinfoil hat theory that he is actually Michael Jordan's real son, I mean, he is just crushing it.
No, he's absolutely Does he go to the Timberwolves? Does Durant go to the Timberwolves?
Oh, and that would to like be my next chapter.
Yeah.
Let me join the team that beat me. I mean, that would definitely play into, what everyone says about him. So that series over. Like I said, we have one more game in this Laker-Nuggets series. Feels over.
It's over.
Circling back to the East, the Celtics seem to have figured out that one Miami Heat flash in the pan where they made every shot. They come back and dominate them again. So that also looks like it's heading.
It's over. I mean, unless Miami's shooting at like 70% from
Right.
the 3-point range, which any team, I don't care who you are, you're going to win. Like,
Right.
you're shooting like that percent, that high from three.
But the Celtics made some adjustments. They pressured the ball handlers. Miami doesn't have a point guard. People aren't realizing, like, Tyler Herro is going ahead and bringing the ball up. They really don't have a point guard. Celtics made some interesting adjustments, which make a lot of sense. Like, why don't you put some pressure on these ball handlers? Don't let them get set up. Don't let the team get set up because they're not point guards that know how to deal with that and set the team up. It's really a struggle without Jimmy. Then you have Orlando and the Cavs, which, Orlando, who literally tanked in order to get that matchup. They're having some struggles.
I mean, Spider.
Yeah, the Cavs also, so they end up having now a more competitive series. The Bucks sort of like top team in the East. Things looks like it's going to the end. So we're kind of winding down. The first round is really shaping up, and we're kind of seeing how it's likely going to land. There's always some surprises, but we're going to get into the second round. Are your predictions still the same with who you think is going to be in the NBA Finals? Do you even remember?
Well, in
I
the West,
remember.
yeah, in the West, I have Denver.
Yep.
Yeah.
You still think it's Denver?
I do.
Okay.
They're just too deep. They're just well-oiled machine. So I do. The West, although Anthony Edwards, who knows, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I think Denver. In the East, I had Boston, I believe, right? In reality, the way that the Knicks, I hate them, but the way that the Knicks are playing against Philly, the Knicks could, like what Boston showed me against Miami, Boston's beatable. Boston is beatable. What? Am I drunk? No.
No, I'm just getting excited.
It's not 5
Are you
o'clock yet.
saying that the Knicks have a shot to make it to the NBA Finals?
Well, it's the Knicks or Boston, right?
Yeah, I agree. And I still think Boston's probably going to beat the Knicks, but I expect to be there playing them, maybe win a game or
6
two.
games?
I think 6 games.
So there you go. That's what I'm saying. So it's possible, right?
Yeah.
If it's going 6, it can easily go 7, which means it's a do or die.
Yep.
And I think that Boston is Look, Boston lost at home. And the Knicks can shoot lights out. And Brunson, if he's him, can do it.
I see it. So, yeah, so that's where we're at. I agree with you. I think it's Celtics, Nuggets, but I could actually see in the West maybe the Thunder
Interesting.
sneaking in there.
Yeah, we forgot about them. But they're
Because they've been
it's a small
playing
market.
so well. Small market. People forget about them all the time, but you'll remember them when they're in the Western Conference Finals.
It's true.
So that's NBA. We also still have NHL.
Yes.
And I want to keep this tradition alive. We've been placing a bet, one bet every single time live that we have this podcast. I think we stick with this Panthers game because, one, I'm going to the game.
Oh, having a jersey is proof. There it is.
And here's my proof because I have a jersey, so it means I'm going to the game. And two, we actually hit a nice parlay this weekend at the party. I give you all the credit.
Thank you.
But it was a shots parlay.
Mm-hmm.
I think we stick with the shots parlay.
Mm-hmm.
And let's open up our
Oh, you're reading my mind.
our Hard Rock apps and let's pick 3 guys, 2 from the Panthers, 1 from Tampa.
I have it already.
And so that we get our shots parlay in, and I'll place it right now.
All right. Well, I put it in just before. I didn't realize we were going to do this. So I'm going to read it to you, and I'm going to give it to you. It is Sam Reinhart. Take the Rhino over 2.5 shots.
Slow down, because
Okay.
I'm placing my bet.
No worries.
Okay. So are we also picking Panthers money line in it? I feel like they're gonna win.
You
tonight.
can.
I'm gonna do it.
Well, I'm going to dive into that. I'm a little nervous for a couple reasons.
We'll
but
talk about it. But go. Okay. Who was it?
Rhino over 2.5 shots. Carter Verhaeghe, Swaggy, over 2.5.
Swaggy. Turn your swag on. Who else?
And I like Nick Paul over 1.5 shots.
Okay.
And I also added in this, if you want to ride it, Nikita Kucherov under 3.5. Kucherov is lazy. Kucherov is slow, and he's just a hot mess. Out of all the games this series, he hit it one time. He hit 4 shots last game, and all the other games only 1 or none. So I like under 3.5.
Okay, let's do it. $100 to win $850 if you place this bet on Hard Rock. You're probably not going to hear this in time, but if you did place it, there it is. But we will be posting this pick on winnable.com, on winnable.com/parlay lawyer and winnable.com/Harambe covers.
There you go. Now, while you're placing that bet, I'm going to dive into this Panthers Lightning game a little.
Tell the people they need to
I'm
hear.
going to tell the people I am actually scared. And this is why. The Florida Panthers, we have gone through lulls this season, especially towards the end, where it got a little scary. And we go through these lulls of we just can't play, offense isn't clicking, and we're just not winning games. That said, the first 3 games where we won definitively, still somehow, some way, it was like 1-goal games. We were stopping them in the neutral zone, and somehow Tampa was able to squeak one. Stamkos with always one of those power play goals. I am actually nervous, and this is why. If we, for whatever reason, drop the ball tonight, Game 6 is in Tampa. I can see Tampa at home winning, and the Panthers are going to be a little shook. Tampa is going to be fired up. They are champions.
Mm-hmm.
They've shown it. Vasilevsky is a monster when he's clicking
He
in
really
net.
is good.
But
So is Bob.
But that Game 7 will make me like I almost
Wow,
feel like it's a do or die.
It's a long way to get to Game 7.
But do you see what I'm saying?
It's 3-1.
But if we lose tonight, then it goes to Tampa.
Then losing in Tampa, and then we're home Game 7, but it's scary zone. And it's kind of repeat on the other direction of what
we did to
happened
Boston.
last year, what we did to Boston. So
Exactly.
I hear you, but I hope we get the win tonight. I'll be there. I also took, while I was at it, first goal scorer, Evan Rodriguez.
Bring it in a little bit more for the people. Let people see.
Plus
you are a
2,000.
real fan.
I'm a real fan. This isn't authentic. Shouts to my parents who got this for me when they were at the game. They're like, "Oh, we got you a nice jersey," and
Even
yeah,
the sponsor.
it has the sponsor on the front. But yeah, there we go.
But yeah, no, the Panthers, I'm a little nervous. I think we do finish it tonight, though.
Mm-hmm.
But
Rangers finished it, right?
Rangers finished.
Rangers finished it. They're looking like powerhouses in the East.
They're amazing.
Tell me a team, before we leave here, tell me a team in the West that you see coming out. I know who you're going to say.
Colorado.
Colorado. They look like they're surefire. I'm really hoping for the Colorado-Florida. It's like basically just your wife's from Colorado. You live there a while. It's really just a coming home experience for you.
We'll have to go out there.
We'll have to go out there. I have friends there as well who have tickets, and we'll go out. Yeah, so thanks for joining us. This was fun. Like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends about the podcast. As the year goes on, the summer goes on, dog days, we're going to start doing some real football dive-in. Fantasy football dives-in. We'll do some live mock drafts maybe. Maybe we'll invite some people from our league around and get a little secret insight. Make them think that they're going to be on a cool podcast, but we know what we're doing. We're going to be write it down. But thanks a lot, everybody. We will see you next week.
Awesome. Adios.